could live and die in a New York minute for.
Since you've been listening this far, we're gonna throw in a little bonus hour. You ready?
How long is this bonus hour gonna last? I'm getting addicted.
No, let me tell you, I love this extra hour.
Everything is organic here on the bonus hour.
Yeah, baby.
Hey, yo, check this out.
It's Wendy, man.
Here it is.
It's the bonus hour on the Wendy Williams Experience.
107.5 WBLS, New York.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Miss 511 in Staten Island. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening, and thank you for listening. Tomorrow night are the New York City Air Awards. I'm going because it's just good to be nominated. Plus, it's free food. Radio station bought a whole table. You know what I mean? I don't know who else is nominated here. I think we have some other nominations going on as well. The New York City Air Awards, they happen every year. And it's, friendly competition with the radio personalities around town. All of us. From light music to I guess the Spanish stations are included, the Z100s, everybody. So I'm up against people I don't know. I'm out at the Jock Loop. I don't know who those people are, but best afternoon radio personality. I know the girl at Light FM. She's nominated for an Air Award. And technically speaking, if she wins, it's not even fair because what personality is involved with that type of music? You play from Whitney to Celine on Light FM. I mean, where the personality comes in is, when you're, what you do between the songs. Can you, Jason, find Bob Lee and you can get the list for who's nominated? I don't care if I don't win. I won an Air Award before. I won the first year I came back here, which was like the wind beneath my wings to, keep it going. It just kind of gave me a little inside, like, yeah, I'm on the right path. And you good people listening, of course, and embracing and everything. Because, I didn't know how I was going to be received after you left me for dead. But I'm nominated again this year. It's just good to be nominated. I'm going. Because I need something to do before I go to the Laugh Factory. Doors open up at 8 o'clock. When I get off at 7, I'm always like, humana. I mean, I sit in the pink room and I watch TV, but I squint when I watch it because, truth be told, it's a little tiny TV. So when you're luxuriating on the couch. By the way, we got the approval. We're going to get the office with the big pristine view. All those windows, yup. Yup, our boss, Dion, he said we got it. We're going to have the interior decorator come in, Stephanie Cohen, excuse me. Stephanie's going to zhuzh the whole place out, Martha Stewart style. With my twist. It's still going to be nice. Still feather boas for picture frames. Very pink. But it's twice as big. And we already have a pretty big office. But it's twice as big. Stephanie's going to get luxurious couches and all that. Yep. And we're going to get a big TV. And I'm going to get it to hang from the ceiling. Yeah. Have you looked in that room?
Yeah, I have. That's all I'm like, oh my God. That's nice.
They're going for the day?
Yeah, but somebody from Air America said they're nominated too.
They are?
Yeah.
Who's nominated over there?
Some guy just told me that we're nominated.
Oh, that's Randy's show. Don't change the channel. I know what you're about to do. I told you, Randy talks liberal politics. If you cared about politics, then WLIB would still be on the air doing politics. Remember they did that? Folk don't want to hear that. Folk watch the news and, we read the newspaper and, we get our politics elsewhere. Sometimes I get the faxes. Why don't you talk politics? If you cared, you would have, LIB wouldn't have had to go totally Caribbean. Remember? After the politics, then they played all the Caribbean music. And then after that, now it's Air America. Randy's nominated. Oh, you got the list? Come on in.
I heard you when I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah, this is Randy's producer.
Hi.
What's your name again? Tim comes to Wendy Williams Comedy Experience, too.
I do.
Yeah.
And everybody looks at me to make sure the white jokes are okay, and I laugh and everybody else laughs. So.
Okay, so now here's who's nominated. Thanks, Tim.
So this one.
Al Franken from Air America. Randy Rhodes. She comes on the same time as me over there. looking up number one with Johnny Stone. What radio station is WAWZ? Are they inventing new stations all around us? We don't know. Another place to work? What kind of music do they play? I'm just playing, everybody. On the 40th floor. I'm happy here. I look at new radio stations always as a new option for, when that power station opened up, I was like, oh, don't hate. Understand. There's a new place for us to all possibly work. And then there's something on WLTW. Okay, that's Light FM. Oh, Valerie Smaldone. Okay. Oh, they're nominating a particular show of hers, Up Close and Personal with Rod Stewart. Okay, so they're basing that on one interview. And then PLJ, Tom Pettingill. He's got Saturday Nights at the 80s. Why are they nominated for running part of the race, but I'm nominated for running a whole damn race? Because if I don't win, I'm feeling like I give it my all every day, not just when Rod damn Stewart is in the studio. Well, I'm not going to be upset. And as a matter of fact, you know what? This is the first time I'm in this category, so it's okay if I don't win. I just realized what the category is. I'm so used to being, nominated, best afternoon personality. Guess what this nomination category is? You know what? I don't even care if I don't win. Best syndicated show originating from New York. Syndicated, I forget. Yeah. You know what? It's just good to be in the company. I'm no longer just a radio personality. That's nice. They ask you how you want to be named. I'm on Nightline tomorrow night, 11:35 on ABC. I'm talking about, the nonsense in hip hop and whatnot. And so they go, before we start taping, state your name into the camera and how you want to be referred. And I'm thinking to myself, Wendy Williams, you know who I am? I didn't say, but I'm like, you guys called me about doing the interview, and you know what I do. Afternoons here at WBL. Hold on. Nationally syndicated radio person. Put that under my name. So silly. Yeah, tomorrow night on Nightline. I'm working on a project with Matt Lauer, too.
Do you have time to sleep?
Barely. You see my eyes are dim. I get my sleep in. There's somebody on the radio in New York named Wendy Wild. You got to be kidding me. Where have I been? Wow. She's nominated for a Best Evening Show at a radio station called WBLI. What is that? What is going on outside? I'm just trying to look down here and see if anybody at Shot 97 is nominated for crap. Of course not. Keep the bullets flying. Keep the hip hop pumping. Oh, my writer is nominated, Karen Hunter. WWRL. She's on the Best Talk Show. Steve Malsberg and Karen Hunter. You want to know what? Nobody at Shot 97 and nobody at that power station either. Well, hell.
Those are liner jocks.
Yeah, I understand that they're liner jocks, but sometimes it gets misconstrued that they're good personalities or something. Between the liners. No, you got good personalities. Jones, Star, good people. What's up, Jonesy? How's the baby? Coochie coo. Let's move on. Hello?
Hello, Wendy?
Hi.
Hi, Wendy.
Welcome.
I have a question. Where is Jaheim?
Where's
I haven't heard from Jaheim. I haven't heard from him. I haven't seen him. He hasn't come out with anything in so long.
Jaheim's got a heat-seeking missile aimed directly at your ears. And if you will just give him a moment, it's going to drop.
Really? When?
Oh,
know?
yes. Yes. At towards the end of May, perhaps the beginning of June.
Okay, cool. My birthday's the end of May, so that's cool.
Yes,
that'll be a birthday gift.
You will be hearing something new and funky and fly from Jaheim. Oh, yes.
Oh, okay, good. I'm excited. Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Hey, Jaheim. Hi, Pookie. Hello?
Hi, Wendy. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. I saw your pictures up on alltheparties.com with Faith. Faith looked great. So did you.
Thank you.
You really looked great. The people posted a little comments and stuff up there, but you look great.
Oh, what'd they say? Their comments?
Yeah, they post comments up here.
What, she looks like a man? What?
Oh, I can go back and tell you.
Yeah, go back. I'm going to put you on hold for a moment, and then I'm going to come back to your line.
Okay.
Put her on hold and remember what line she's on. Hello?
Hello, good evening.
Hi, it's Wendy.
Hi, Wendy.
Welcome to the bonus hour.
Oh, thank you. Listen, I wanted to ask you a question. Can you tell me who Superhead is? Maybe I'm the only dummy who doesn't know who it is.
She's this girl who performs fabulous professionals, from what I understand, on anybody with a penis.
Oh, wow.
Basically.
Okay, and she's like known like in the inside, like in the entertainment business?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just a chuckle that I just made. But actually, she's gotten around in the industry with virtually
everyone and everything?
Apparently everyone but 112, according to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And she doesn't just do it, she does it splendiferously.
Wow.
Yes, her game is legendary.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I love you so, Wendy.
Did I mention that she's a mother of like a 10-year-old?
Oh, get out of here.
And he happens to be Coogee Rap's son, a little boy?
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Pathetic. All right, take care.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
But I guess a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. Mm-hmm. Hello.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good.
Good.
I got a question for you.
Okay.
I think it was like a couple of weeks ago or last month. You were talking about the source to the article on Angie Martinez. What month was that? Was that March or April?
That was April.
It was April?
Yeah, it's on Stands Now.
Okay. And plus, I wanted to tell you, too, I just here from Atlanta, and Gladys and Ron's, we call it Gladys and Ron's. Nobody calls it like Gladys Nights or whatever, but the food is fabulous. So if you ever are down there.
But does the awning say Gladys Knight and Ron Winans, chicken and waffles?
I think it says Gladys and Ron.
Oh, good.
There's two in Atlanta.
Okay. Wow, they're going to start a chain. I'm glad to hear the food is fabulous.
Oh, it is fabulous.
Wow. Well,
okay.
Good. Thank you for the report.
Thanks, Wendy. Love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello.
Hi, Wendy.
Hi.
How are you? Oh my
Fine,
goodness,
thanks.
I can't believe I'm talking to you. I need some advice on a situation that's kind of crazy. I'm 20 years old, and I have a 14-month-old daughter. I've been with my baby's father since I was like 14 or whatever. I'm in that place in my life. I guess I'm an old soul that I'm just done with it. And he's really not trying to hear that. And I don't want it to escalate to a point where, like, I have to call the cops on him or he doesn't get to see his daughter, but he's just being real ignorant right now.
And you're finished with him. You want the relationship to be over.
Yes. I'm done.
How long were you with him before having the daughter?
Oh, since I was like 14. He was my first everything.
Okay. And how old are you now?
20.
So have you told him that you want it over, or are you just talking to me about this?
Oh, no, yeah. I've been telling him, and I mean, this is like the second week where he's been calling me constantly. I mean, I'm trying to be at work. He's calling my job because I'm not answering my cell phone and just yelling at me, nitpicking at stupid little things.
Do you all live together?
No. We used to, but no.
Okay, that's good. Geez, I don't know what you do about somebody like that. I mean, why is he calling?
He keeps calling me because he says he is not going to be without me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I don't
Go to the cops. Men don't, I mean, he's not going to respect the restraining order anyway, but go to the cops.
You think it might have, I don't want to like.
And it's disgusting that you have to bring this up to your job. Is this your career, or is this just a job? Can you get another job?
Yeah, I can get another job. I'm in school right now. I'm trying to get my bachelor's degree.
Good for you.
So,
So how much longer do you think you'll be at this job? Are you applying now?
Yeah, I've been looking for jobs because I'm doing social work. I'm trying to get into the field.
Yeah.
I just really didn't want to, like, embarrass my family, put my daughter, I just...
You know what, though? I understand what you're saying, but if he's saying that he's not going to be without you, then, there's an underlying killing thing going on there.
Yeah.
Is he 20 also?
No, he's older. He's 23.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Get a restraining order on him, and I would let my family know what's going on.
Let them know.
And, it would be embarrassing if you had to let your job know, but you want to know what? If this is causing embarrassment because he has to go through a switchboard, you might want to let them know, too. And then ultimately speaking, they're not going to want, some black woman with some Negro problems, and they're going to end up firing you.
Yeah.
So hold off on that one, but just understand they'll make up an excuse, but they're going to fire you because they don't want some Negro coming in there swinging guns at them, and they'd rather get rid of you than have that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it might have to come to.
Yeah. Well, I wish you well. Take care. Let's go back to that other phone call. Hello, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what are they saying?
Under the picture with you and your husband, it says, Miss Wendy looks full. Shout out to KH, I guess, because he looks pretty good.
What is wrong with the phone? Wait, hold on a second. Shift the phones. Put her on hold and disconnect the other line. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, it says Miss Wendy looks what?
It says Miss Wendy looks full. Shout out KH, which I'm assuming is Kevin Hunter, your husband.
Yeah.
Do you have those teeth in that you were talking about?
No.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to ask you that. And then the picture with you by yourself. There's. Do you want me to read?
Did you say full as in FULL?
Huh? Full, like on the brown juice.
Oh, okay, that's good. And shout out to Kevin Hunter. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
I was full. Thank you, Faith.
You guys make a beautiful. You guys took a really good picture.
Thank you.
Anyway, and then the comments with you by yourself. Do you want the people's names and everything?
No, just give me the comments.
Okay. Getting there. After all that surgery she has nowhere else to go. This is Wendy at her finest. And then the second comment, I don't think she looks bad, if that's what you're trying to say, compared to how she used to look. She's getting there. And then it says, somebody else is saying you're whack for saying that. And then somebody else is saying she is the queen of radio, so if she can dish it, she can take it.
Of course.
And somebody's like, whoa. So.
But I didn't hear any bad comments in there.
No,
they said I am a work in progress. I mean, hopefully we all are.
Wendy, you look great. I don't think you should do anything else. I mean, I think you got everything together.
Yeah, no, it's just keeping it together, which is, believe it or not, the hardest job of all. It's the hardest job of all to keep it together.
Yeah. Well, you look great. I just wanted to tell you that, and I wanted to know if you had on those teeth. That's why I was calling you.
Yeah, no, you know what? I got my real teeth Zoom brightened.
Yes.
And so they weren't dull to begin with. My doctor kept telling me not to, but I got that done. But I want to thank you for calling.
No problem. Have a good one.
All right, you too. Why did you press the laughter when she said she was a social worker? When I met you, you were a social worker who wanted to do something more exciting. You were driving a pink car that you bought from the owner of a Dunkin' Donuts. Okay? So, shout out to all the social workers. Let it be known that art comes from social worker roots. Artie loves the kids. He'd come and hustle on the morning show, and then he'd have his file with his caseload. He'd drive his little pink car around Philly. How you doing? Beep, beep. How you doing? Beep, beep. Ding dong. Miss Artie here. Let me speak to Junior. He's got some work to be done on his social. I mean, Shout out to Ed Lover. Ed, I didn't see you're nominated for Best Afternoon Show. Good luck. So where do we go from here, everybody? I can't believe how gorgeous it is outside.
It is.
Todd Bridges and Gary Coleman have agreed to take part in a new backstage TV show. Now, you remember them. You remember them from Different Strokes.
How can we forget?
Yeah, of course. Well, no word on exactly what network or whatever. but it's an unauthorized story of different strokes. It's a docudrama. They say it's going to shock the fans who thought the stars were all one big happy family. Well, I don't think that. I think we've gotten all we need from Different Strokes. We're fine with that. Let's all move on.
Mork and Mindy came on last night.
Behind the scenes,
The unauthorized story.
was there any drama? I hated that show.
No.
Yeah. I hated that show. I hated the Balky show. Balky's going to be on Surreal Life. You know, I'm not paying attention to him on that show. You know, I'm watching Peppa and Janice Dickinson and like that. They'll be going at it. Remember the Balky show? It's a stupid, yeah, ugh. Have you ever seen Rolanda's show on PAX? It's called The Lie Detector. Rolanda Watts, she came in to talk about it a few weeks ago, and I watched it. And I actually, you know what, it comes on the same time. It comes on tonight at 9 o'clock on PAX. So you'll be going between the WB and PAX like I do, between the Starlight. And I really don't care about the Starlight until they get to the boardroom, because I like to see Faye Dunaway just read them and then tell them, don't call us, we'll call you. And Vivica, I love you too. My mom called me earlier today and told me that Vivica Fox is going to be the keynote speaker at the AKA big luncheon that they have. The big one where they usually get some inspirational woman. They pay her a lot of money to come and speak. Last year it was Star Jones. And I told my mother, you know, don't approach Star Jones with, oh, my daughter's Wendy and everything, because, you know, she might hook off on you, or you just might turn a beautiful day into something ugly. Just, you know, just fall back, you know, take pictures from afar, take notes as to who she's with, you know, be my eyes, and then come, you know, report back. So she reported back. Star did a stellar job. She spoke, and, you know, a very good speaker. So this year, I'm not sure. My parents live in Miami, but Fort Lauderdale's right next door. So maybe the Miami-Fort Lauderdale chapter is like all in one. I'm not sure. But anyway, it's all going down in Miami, I think in May. So my mother met Vivica Fox, so now she feels especially close because she met her at Fashion Week. So she said, you know, is it okay to approach? You know, we have Vivica. And I said, absolutely. I said, Vivica, though she hasn't been on this radio show here, this one, I consider her a friend of the show in a weird kind of way. So I said, yeah, do approach her, you know, but take notes before you approach her. Let her be Vivica in her natural setting. Take notes on what she speaks about and so on and so forth. And then you can approach her. And ask her when she's coming on my show, I told her.
Put that where? Back there.
All right. So back to Rolanda's show, okay. So the actor Colin Farrell has this black woman named Desiree Bradford, who's a dominatrix, who says that she's being stalked by Colin Farrell. Now, according to sources close to this PAX show, oh yeah, it goes down on Rolanda's show. I mean, you need to check it out. So according to sources close to the show, Desiree claims that, and here's her quote, the quote from the show, Colin has been calling her all hours of the night, begging her to go on dates with him and harassing her. She even took Colin Farrell to court. Now you're thinking a multi-million-dollar Hollywood actor, why? But, you know, A, she's black, and B, she's a dominatrix. And when you combine those two things, you know, you got some... You got something that all that money and whatnot. I mean, because he can get a dominatrix, you know, but she might be white. Maybe, you know, he's the type who would never like openly date black, but he would have sex with black, and then the combination of the taboo sex and the, you know,
like Hugh Grant.
Like Hugh Grant, right? You know, he doesn't openly date black, but he'll get a professional from black. Like many people listening. Like many black people listening who might not openly date white, but would love a white dominatrix. Shout out to the entire rainbow spectrum of people who listen to this show. I am not a racist. I'm just simply speaking. I know that didn't even come off racist, but I always say one word too many. And so just before I even say it, I'm just letting you know ahead of time. Apparently, you've been calling her all hours of the night and whatnot. So then she gets on the show, right? And they have a lie detector. So they ask her the questions with the professional lie detector. Ro is in the other room. Well, the show wouldn't say whether she passed or failed, but apparently she failed. Because here's Rolanda's quote. She called me a Hollywood hoe. I've worked in this business a long time, and while I've been called many things before, being called a Hollywood whore was certainly a first. And then she stormed off the set and refused to take the lie detectors. The show is called Lie Detectors, and they provide transportation. Refused to take their transportation back to her house. So maybe that one will come on tonight. That's at 9 o'clock on PAX. Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child is going to be on the cover of the Christian magazine called 12. Do you have any idea why they call the magazine 12, Art?
No idea.
There's nothing biblical? I know it's 10 for the 10 Commandments, but what are the extra 2?
With 12 disciples?
Okay, maybe it is. Thank you, Art.
Hallelujah.
Right, that's very good. So, she's, praising God throughout the interview, but I just wanted you to know that she's on the cover. What else do I have for you? Oh, the show was almost over?
No, we got to pay some bills a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to shout out to Faith one more time and let you all know that, her signing today at J&R Music World was over 26 minutes ago. But she'll be signing copies of her new CD, The First Lady, at the Music Factory in Brooklyn tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. And then she's going to be at the Music Factory, in Brooklyn tomorrow from 4 to 6 p.m. Happy birthday to Tina Nackman in the promotions department. Shout out to Barbary. Hey, do you think we can get the Hummer over there? That beautiful purpley pink Wendy Williams WBLS Hummer over there at the Faith signing. That'll be like I'm supporting her. I'm there in spirit. Yeah. The address of that Music Factory, if you'd like to meet Faith, purchase a copy of her CD and have her sign it. Remember, it's from 4 to 6, and that's at 400 Fulton Street in Brooklyn. Fabulous. And Faith, love her. Jenny Garth, thank you. That's who the old nanny reminded me of. Our old nanny reminded me of Jenny Garth from 90210. I mean, you live and you learn, though. That was when I first had the baby. I just wasn't even thinking in terms of, all I'm thinking about is, the safety and well-being of the child. And that she didn't come with a lot of baggage, with a husband to fight with and then, and all like that, or kids of her own, at least starting out, And I was a busy working mom, working my morning show. And then I shortly after, stopped working at Power 99. I got my job at BLS. I'm up and down the road. All I need to know is that, our son is safe. So the fact that she would come to work, once every 9 days with a skirt too short and too much blue eyeshadow, and then she would let me know that, she's on her way over to the bar. She would, she crossed the line of, like employer-employee, I guess, by becoming too comfortable. It's this whole jazzy job being on the radio. People listen to the radio and then they fall for the rope-a-dope, and I go home to my own house and I can't even be a boss. I'm still hey now. And then no, not hey damn now. What is up with the eyeshadow? Only I couldn't blow up spots like that because I knew that I needed, reliable, and I only need it for a moment because we're about to move back to New York and I need you for another few months. So she stayed with us for about 8 months, during the transition period. And then we got rid of her. And now we have the wonderful CeeLo, and she's been with us all along. Baby's 4. All along. CeeLo, I trust her with my everything.
She's good people.
Yeah, she's fabulous people. Shout out to CeeLo. Anyway. All right, everybody. Look, we're going to go into a little break. And when we come back around, I'll be here. Shout out to Queens. I'm going to fill you in on what happened with Shaw Money because there's more to that story from the G Unit. All right. Do something. I am going through eczema on my, or something. Eczema. Anyway, I go to Dr. Janine Downey. She's my dermatologist. I was just over there today. She's treating my bunionectomy. It looked really good. She treats them with a laser. But I got to tell you something. I got my jeans rolled at the cuff today, exposing ankle and stuff. I mean, I've never had scars on my legs and everything. I got this eczema on my lower legs, like literally on the lower part, like closer to the ankle than to the knees. And I just feel like, every time people are looking down, they're looking and saying, ew. But it's going away. It's going away. I put the ointment on it and stuff like that.
What's the difference between eczema and a regular rash?
A doctor's diagnosis. Dr. Janine, she's brilliant. What she says goes. She went to Tufts, TUFTS in Medford, Massachusetts. Dear Wendy, please don't put people down who managed to listen to your whole entire show. Also, what did I miss on your Faith Evans interview? Please fill us in. Fill us in on all the dirt. P.S. Or just fill us in on the interview, for crying out loud. That's signed Sweet Baby in New Jersey. No, Sweet Baby. She's Sweet Baby's talking about yesterday when I said, people who listen to the entire show. Damn. I mean, I do appreciate that. But when you don't miss, when I say listen to the entire show, it's one thing to have it on. But I know damn well you're not hanging on to every single word. Don't you have to do stuff in between? Because I don't want I just don't want any old listener. I want productive people in the audience. I would think that the WBLS sales department wants productive people too. That's why we run these commercials, so that you all have money and you go out and you support our sponsors. Now, if you're just sitting and just listening to the show and doing nothing else.
Those are part of the cult following.
You stop.
Yeah, that's what I like. You come in and out. You have it on the whole time. But, come in and freeze, and then you have to go and you have to do something. Then you come back. Oh, hell. However you listen, I'm just glad you're here. Who am I to complain? Hey, you know what? 1 in 5 teenagers' parents are engaging in oral sex. How do you like that? And the boys are doing it to the girls more than the girls are doing it to the boys. Hey. The median age of these teens is 14 and a half. They would rather have do oral than have intercourse. This study was done out in Chicago, and it's a U.S. Study. They say the 1 in 5 U.S. teens are doing it like that. They say adolescents believe that oral sex is more acceptable than vaginal sex for adolescents their own age in both dating and non-dating situations. Oral sex is less of a threat to their values and their beliefs.
That's white kids' problem.
No, I think that's spilled over. It's like people say the e-pills. Remember, drugs, that's white kids. No, drugs, that's everybody. Where I was talking about the nanny before is that Victoria Spice fired her nanny. So there's more to the story because I just started telling it before class was dismissed in the national show. So the nanny was still friends with the jump off. Now David Beckham, Victoria Posh Spice over in England's husband. This is the same woman. She's the one who claimed that she had an affair with him. He denies the allegations. We've all put that behind us. The Beckhams have gone on, and they just had a beautiful baby boy named Cruz. So now there's 3 kids. Brooklyn is 6, Romeo is 2, and then Cruz is 6 weeks old. And Victoria caught the nanny talking with the jump off at a Club 195. So the nanny's clubbing, and Victoria apparently goes to the same spot. See how awkward. You walk in, hey, CeeLo! Woo! What you doing in here? Who's looking after little Kev? Or whatever. Even if little Kev's not here, it's just kind of just weird. She loves Brooklyn and Romeo and now little Cruz, but oh well. The nanny loves the kids. Oh well. Let's move to the streets.
Uh-oh.
Well, apparently, I was telling the story earlier, but I know the gangsta hour is a whole nother animal. Excuse me, the bonus hour is a whole nother hour, a whole nother animal. So this guy shot money from the G Unit, right? So he was robbed on Easter Sunday at the barbershop. Yeah, he's from Queens. A lot of guys, when they get out there, they can't really frequent their old neighborhoods. And it's not necessarily the wisest thing to do. People are envious. Weather's getting warm. People are getting hungry. Everybody wants to, floss and flash. And so here comes Shaw, Easter Sunday, probably looking G-unit splendiferous with his spinner around his neck probably and, all kind of flashy talk and stuff. Well, I told you all last week when I reported the story that he was robbed outside of the barbershop, except that's not the way it was. He was locked inside the barbershop and robbed at gunpoint. So this is a setup. Then the man, taunted him that, even though he's from Queens, he's not able to come back home to his borough. Pie. Shaw Money managed to get outside and escape with the bullets, flying behind him, shooting his car after they robbed him. And then in other Queens news, Mobb Deep was dropped from Jive Records. Jive is disappointed that their America's Nightmare CD did not sell well. It didn't go gold. And they're also saying that Mobb Deep doesn't fit into the roster lineup there at Jive Records. Justin Timberlake, Britney Spears,
R. Kelly,
Usher, and Outkast. By the way, for the latest entertainment, let me read this the way it is because I see Tavis Smiley's name. I don't want to get it messed up. He's a friend to the show. For the latest in entertainment, tune in to Tavis Smiley. Tonight, Tavis talks to X-Files star David Duchovny about his upcoming movie, The House of D. Oh, The House of D, honey. No, just sounds like a gay movie. Tavis Smiley airs weeknights at midnight only on Channel 13. That's one of America's most eligible bachelors. He's never on the list, but he is. He's nice to his mother. He buys her the St. John's knits. She loves them. He buys. He's in the real estate game. Knows how to snap his neck to hip hop. Don't let all that stiff shirt mess fool you. Tavis knows how to get down. He's a real. He's eligible. Come on, let's get to this. Why'd you play that? Is that another wrong button?
No, it was a club button for the club. You say he likes to get down in the club.
No, not that kind of club. Don't you play that music for Tavis Smiley. I see what you're implying. You're just jealous. That's for the gay clubs. That's not for a club.
Okay. Defending him for it.
You're jealous. He's eligible.
Yeah.
You're a mess.
I'm taking.
You are?
Yes.
Do tell.
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Do you really? Or are you lying?
I'm not sure.
A real girlfriend?
Yeah.
That you say I love you to?
I say I love you, but we're chilling.
Is she the only one you sleep with? Or it the only one you sleep? I don't know what to say.
I haven't even slept with her yet. It's brand new. But I plan on to.
You plan on two?
I plan on.
How long have you been seeing her?
Since the middle of January.
Since the middle of January. Wow. What does she do for a living? Do you mind me asking?
We'll talk about it behind the scenes.
All right.
She's not a dancer or nothing like that.
Obviously not, because you would have slept with her by now. Well, listen to this. Much more interesting than your story. Wendy, I really need some advice. Hold on to your seatbelts, everybody. I'm a 26-year-old newlywed man, and I've known my wife since college. When I met her I met her while working for her father. Her father is a very wealthy man. He's single because he divorced the mother and lives very well in multiple homes. The works, Wendy. He has a staff of servants, the whole bit. We've been married for 4 months now. And, well, Wendy, she's accustomed to the high life. Gucci, Louis Vuitton, the Short Hills Mall, all that type of stuff. I was never a man of means. I always had to hustle to make my way, make ends meet. But was lucky to marry into a rich family. But here's the dirt. To support my wife and her shopping habits, I have sex with her father for money. Everybody's coming in the studio now. Like, what? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Exactly. It's so funny. People at the radio station listen to the show and then they wait. Hold on, everybody. Stay where you are. Come back. Wendy, he pays me $5,000 every time we have sex. The first time this happened was before we were married. One night he invited me over to finalize all the plans for our wedding since he was paying for it. So I thought nothing of it, Wendy. I get there and then everything starts out normal. Later in the evening, he then asked me to join him for a swim. I agreed. So I get in the pool, go to the pool house, and I change into some shorts. Then he comes in wearing nothing but a thong. And I found it extremely weird, but he is a handsome man and keeps himself in shape. So I just wrote it off as, okay, that's what he likes to do. After some small talk, he asks me if I love his daughter, and I said yes. Then he tells me that I must have sex with him before he will give his final consent for me to marry her. Of course, I was in shock. I didn't reply. He then asked me again, but more aggressively. Still, No. I was just picturing the more aggressive. Like, what was that? He pulled your head to your crotch? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, how was that? He held his thong, manhood through his thong, in a b-boy stance? Like I said, have sex, how'd that work? Is this a black family or a white family? Because I'm trying to drum up an image in my mind. All right, shut up. Let me continue. I'm getting the wrap-up sign. Vaughn's breathing down my... Shut up, Wendy. Read. Okay. Still, I said... He asked me more aggressively. Still, I said nothing. He asked me again and giving me an ultimatum, saying that if I didn't have sex with him, the wedding would be called off. He would fire me from his company. With all that in mind, Wendy, I gave in. We had sex right there in the pool. I couldn't believe I let myself do it. Anyway, jump forward to present. Wendy, this is still going on. At our last encounter, I threatened to end the whole thing, but he then told me that he had taped many of our encounters, and should I now his question to me is, should I tell my wife or go on living a double life? Please help me. If you want more information, I'll fax you again. Signed, Confused Man in New Jersey. Yes, and the first thing I want to know, are you black or white? Is this a black situation or a white situation? Just because, when you all tell me your stories, I like to have a picture in my mind of what I will be thinking about as I drive home. Because I think about you all as I go home. Like, wow. Second of all, how much is your salary there at the father's company? This is an interesting question. Because I can't simply tell him, stop it now. I mean, it's easy to say stop it now when we're talking about ordinary Joe and, Daddy, cleans the floors at PS 51 and I'm serving him up. And, it's easy to say stop it now and all of it. Oh, gosh.
Unfortunately, we have to stop it now.
Well, let me just say this. He did not tape you. Because if he taped you, that would implicate him. Okay? So I don't know why you're falling for that. But even with no tape, should he tell his wife or live this double life?
Take the bullet.
Literally.
God, I can't. I gotta go home and I gotta think about this, please. All right, look, Vaughn Harper's up next with The Quiet Storm. By the way, about that Dame Dash show, as opposed to saying you're fired, you know what he does? He's going to yank the gold Rockefeller chain off the necks of the losers. Does that sound like the most ridiculous? He's a little reality show on, apprentice type show on BET. We'll talk about that tomorrow. And I got to ponder this $5,000. And Vaughn's next with The Quiet Storm. I love you all for listening. I'd stay longer, but I'm being pushed out. Bye.
The Wendy Williams broadcast day has completed.
Aw, man.
And WBLS music starts next.
With a bit of history, I begin.